Are you following me? Are you following me? It doesn't matter what you're doing and whether your movement is incorrect, but we are trying to remind ourselves and push the point to reinforce that we need our hips and waist. We can't do anything. It's a strain. It's not Tai Chi. All right? Let's continue. Feet apart. We're doing cloud hands. In the most peaceful way you can. Slower is harder, more difficult. So you might want to say, I can really go slowly. And do slow motion. And learn about what you're doing and how you're doing it. But as we do our cloud hands, we say, yes, we've got our circles and our spirals. We've got our mittens on. Our mind is really relaxed. We're synchronized. We're definitely, hopefully, using our hips and waists. Because those are the things that are making our clouds billowy and floating. What about our shoulders? Do they have to be raised? Can we now drop our shoulders? Drop it, drop it, drop it, even though we're changing our hand position. So there again, if you followed me and I followed myself, I got a better sense of relaxation. I dropped my shoulders. I use my core. I use my hips and waists. I use my vision. I use my mind. So that if I stood here and continued, you would be in a zone where you wouldn't even want to listen to me. I wouldn't even want to listen to myself because it's so relaxing. Okay, last one. Now, T-stance, anywhere you want, single whip. No feet. How about high pat on the horse? Sit back, pat your horse. Cross at your wrist. Step out, palms down. Up with your right, kick out. Closing form. Drop your shoulders. That's all you have. Flex your knees. Use your mind. Do not close with your feet. Think it through. Shift your weight. Don't move your feet. Close your form. Something is definitely missing, okay? So it's kind of an oddball lesson, but I wanted to do something different. But the point, I hope, was well received in that we know that something is definitely missing if we don't use our hips and waists. Tai Chi cannot be Tai Chi without it, okay? So for you who have been with me for eons, I see that as a shortcoming in almost every single person, including us. We can make better use of our hips and waists if we realize that that is the power behind Tai Chi. The power of the mind, the power of the hips and waists. Okay? So I'll come back and I'll remind you of this lesson, okay? So I think that going for 10, 15 minutes on something like this is beneficial. So it's not an isolated lesson that comes before we do our Tai Chi. It is a lesson to be covered throughout the hour, throughout all of our Tai Chi practice as well as classes. Okay, try to bring that in. Any questions or comments at this point? Yeah? Okay.
Just as you start to pay more attention to your hips, remember you have knees below that, and you want to incorporate the knees with the movements of your upper leg as well as your hips. Okay, that's really important. What you're trying to do is get everybody moving in a concerted fashion. And the hip is the transfer point of major muscle strength of the legs to major muscle strength of the upper body, going up and down, and how you move your hips in terms of directing that becomes really important.
Okay, good. So food for thought, okay? Because we are concentrating heavily on hips and waists, but we know everything else hinges around hips and waists, such as knees, joints, legs, okay?